friends. It's Mrs. Catherine here. Today's story time theme is under this box. Do you think you can guess what the theme is for this week? I'll give you a hint. Most of them are this color. What color is this? Orange. You're right. You see a lot of them around Halloween time. Sometimes we like to draw silly faces on them. Grows on the ground, has a stem, vines. I think you guessed it. Pumpkins! I love pumpkins. Should we start by singing our hello song? I think we should too. Hello, how do you do? It's good to be with you. Hello, how do you do? It's good to be with you. Hello, how do you do? It's good to be with you. It's good to be with you at Storytime. And I'm so happy you're here with me today. There are many different parts of a pumpkin. Little pumpkin, growing on a vine, with a stem like a hat and skin that's orange and fat, with ribs like lines. Little pumpkin, what's inside? Seeds and pulp that we can eat, turn them into tasty treats like pumpkin pie. Did you bring your magic fingers with you today? I hope so. Let's wiggle them. We're going to count to 3, and then I need you to send me all of your magic. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Poof! Let's take a look. Oh my goodness, this is a good one. A pumpkin book. This one's called Plumply, Dumply Pumpkin. I can't wait to read it. Plumply, Dumply Pumpkin, written by Mary Cerfozo, illustrated by Valeria Patrone. Peter's looking for a pumpkin, a perfect plumply, dumply pumpkin. Not a lumpy, bumpy pumpkin, not a stumpy, grumpy pumpkin, but a sunny, sumptuous pumpkin. Finally, on a twinning vine, he spies a pumpkin fat and fine. Not too fat, though, not at all, not too short and not too tall. Not some squat, lopsided pumpkin, but a glossy lot of pumpkin. Why does Peter want a pumpkin? Want a showy, glowy pumpkin? Pumpkin pickles? Pumpkin pie? Pumpkin pudding? Pumpkin fry? Pumpkin salad? Pumpkin stew? What is Peter going to do? With his pumpkin home at last, Peter starts in working fast. Draws some eyes and draws a chin, then draws a plumply, dumply grin. Helps his dad carve into place a simply, dimply, dumply face. Lights a light behind the grin to start it glowing from within. Later wins the most applause, and really no surprise because perfect pumpkins really do make perfect jack-o'-lanterns too. I would like to share a story with you that I heard when I was just a little girl. My kindergarten teacher told me this when I was just 5 years old, and I still remember it. Can I share it with you? It's pretty neat. There once was a little old lady. She lived down by the library. The library is such a great place. The house was shaped like a half circle with a chimney out the bottom. Pretty neat. So it was shaped like a half circle with a chimney on the bottom. This little old lady, she had a pet cat, and her pet cat's name was George. So she needed to have a window for the cat's tail to come in and out. So she had a window put in, shaped like the kitty's tail, so George could come in and out. See, it's for the kitty's tail. She also liked to wear a pointy hat. So she needed a window so she could get in and out without knocking her pointy hat off. So she put in a pointy hat window. Just like that. See? For the kitty cat's tail and her pointed hat. She also had 2 birds. I know. Their names were Peter and Piper. She needed a window for the birds to fly in and out. So she went ahead and had a nice window made for Peter and Piper. There's their window. It was getting close to Halloween. So all the children in Mrs. Catherine's Storytime came by the library to see this little old lady's house. She came to the door and said, "Close your eyes." Everyone close your eyes. Surprise! Open them. It's a jack-o'-lantern. That's a pretty silly story. Are you ready to bring out those magic fingers one more time? Should we get them all ready? Warm them up, wiggle them, stretch them. Ready? We're going to count to 3 again. 1, 2, 3. Poof! Let's see what's inside. Oh, this is a good one as well. The Runaway Pumpkin. Let's read it.
The Runaway Pumpkin, written by Kevin Lewis, illustrated by S.D. Schindler. Once upon a hill, when the wind blew with a chill, wandered Buck and Billy Baxter with their baby sister Lil. And there, upon that hillside, growing orange, fat, and fine, the budding Baxters found a pumpkin on a twisty, twirly vine. It was big and it was round, and the boys, their eyes agleam, gave a whoop, a yell, a holler. No finer pumpkin had they seen, and today was Halloween. Yet little Lil was cautious, and, of course, she tried to warn them. But her bumbling, big-head brothers snapped the pumpkin from its stem, and as she watched them roll it, at first real slow, but then much faster, little Lil looked down the hill, and she foresaw disaster. Round and round across the ground, making a thumpin', bumpin' sound, came that thumpity, bumpity, thumpin', bumpin', round and rolly, runaway pumpkin. A short way down the hillside, that zooming pumpkin caught the eye of mucking Mama Baxter, who thought of Granny's pumpkin pie, till it busted through her sty. Round and round across the ground, making a thumpin', bumpin' sound, came that thumpity, bumpity, thumpin', bumpin', round and rolly, runaway pumpkin. A bit farther down the hillside, just beyond the chicken coop, Grandpa Baxter saw that pumpkin and thought of Granny's pumpkin soup. till it knocked him for a loop. Round and round across the ground, making a thumpin' bumpin' sound, came that thumpity, bumpity, thumpin', bumpin', round and rolly runaway pumpkin. Now at the bottom of that hillside, where the bounding pumpkin sped, Papa Baxter on his tractor thought of Granny's pumpkin bread. But Papa Baxter used his head and quickly plowed a pumpkin bed. So at the bottom of the hillside, fat and round upon the ground, that thumpin' bumpin' pumpkin plopped and didn't make another sound. And as the pigs and hens and Baxters gathered round where Papa plowed, little Lil, she gathered Granny and pulled her through the waiting crowd. Buck and Billy looked really proud. Then thumpity, bumpity, thumpin' bumpin', straight to the kitchen went that pumpkin, and soon after came the smell of dear old Granny cooking something. Granny stirred and stewed and baked until the bright full moon rose up, and all those hungry Baxters sat themselves right down to sup. And at the center of the table, among the soup and bread and pie, sat a grinning jack-o'-lantern with a twinkle in its eye.
Hello there. I'm going to need your help with this next story. When I say knock, can you pretend to knock on something? Excellent. And when I say rock, you can rock back and forth like a rocking chair? Good. When I say spin, can you spin your arms like this? Great job. What about when I say come in? What could we do? Motion like this? Come in? Perfect. So let's try them. Knock. Good job. Spin. I tried to trick you there. Rock. Very good. And come in. Come on in. Great job. So this story begins with another little old lady. And she would just sit all day and rock and spin and wait for somebody to come in. One day, as she sat there rocking and spinning, very good, she heard a knock at the door. Come in, she called. And in came two big black boots. I can't talk to just you two big black boots. So she just sat there and she'd rock and spin until she heard another knock at the door. Come in, she called. And in came two bony legs. I can't talk to two bony legs, said the little old lady. So she just sat there and rock and spin, rock and spin, until she heard a knock at the door. Come in, she called, and in came a funny body. I can't talk to a funny body, said the little old lady. So she sat there and rock and spin till she heard another knock at the door. Come in, she called. Two wiggly arms is what was at the door. She said, I can't talk to two wiggly arms. So she sat back in her rocking chair, rock and spin until she heard another knock at the door. "Come in," she said. And in came two big hands. She said, "I can't talk to two big hands." So she just sat there, rock and spin, until she heard another knock at the door. What did she say? You're right. "Come in," she said. And in came a big pumpkin head. She said, "I can talk to you. I can talk to a pumpkin man. It's a pumpkin man." And she did. Isn't that so silly? He sure is a silly pumpkin man. Maybe we could sing a song about the pumpkin man. Yeah, I think we should too. Do you know the pumpkin man, the pumpkin man, the pumpkin man? Do you know the pumpkin man? He lives at the library. Isn't that funny? Do you want to try it one more time? Do you know the pumpkin man, the pumpkin man, the pumpkin man? Do you know the pumpkin man? He lives at the library. Well, pumpkin man, should we say farewell? Is it time to say our goodbye song? I had so much fun with you today, and I hope you'll tune in next week for another fun story time. So let's hide our hands. Where is my thumb? Where is my thumb? Here I am, here I am. Did you have a good time? Yes, I had a good time. Time to go hide away. Where is my hand? Where is my hand? Here I am, here I am. It's time to say goodbye now. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye now. We'll see you next time at Storytime. I cannot wait to see you all again next week.